Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out the Nemesis-X frame from BRDM Quads. This is a micro frame for 2.5-inch props. Pretty unique design and style. This is meant for either top-mounted batteries or bottom-mounted batteries, and you have a little notch here in the top plate and the bottom plate for your battery strap, which is kind of nice, and it'll keep the battery strap in place. Don't see a lot of top-mounted frames in the micro size these days. Most of them are bottom mounted, so it'll be interesting to see how this one flies. Supposedly they designed this so that with the top mounted battery you can have better CG and better flight characteristics. And then the other option is to use there's some sort of like a Mobius conversion kit, so you can put a HD camera up on top here and then put your battery in the bottom, and that supposedly still also has pretty good CG. This is meant for your micro-sized CCD cameras or micro-sized CMOS cameras with the 19 by 19 millimeter form factor. So things like the MicroSwift, Aero Micro, Micro Predator, etc. will fit into this space here. And you have like this little bar in the front here for protection. And the bottom plate here is 3 millimeters thick, so fairly durable frame. They shouldn't break in a crash, even at 2.5 inches. For the props, and then the top plate's 1.5 millimeters, and then the two side plates are 1.5 millimeters. Now it is what they call a low rider. There's not a whole lot of space here between the top plate and the bottom plate, so they've actually designed this to be used with the HGLRC Zeus all-in-one flight controller and ESC combo. So this is a 4-in-1 ESC combo board along with a flight controller with a Betaflight F4 chip and Betaflight OSD. And this all fits on one board, and then you're supposed to combine this with the TX20, so it'll be basically this board and then another board that goes in here, two boards for that, including your video transmitter, and then you should have a little bit of room left for your receiver. And that's what this is. This frame is actually designed for this particular all-in-one flight controller. You may be able to do some sort of flight controller with a built-in PDB and ESCs on the arms. That's also another possibility, so that you have enough space for your video transmitter and receiver above that. So keep that in mind. That is a little bit of a space constraint. Yeah, so the amount of space between the bottom plate and the top plate is only 15 millimeters. The motor to motor distance is 130 millimeters. The side to side distance comes in about 92.5 millimeters. And the front to back is also about 92.5 millimeters, so this is a true X frame, not a stretched X frame. And the weight of the frame without any components comes in at about 21 grams. Now there is a LED bar here, some wires, and a little 3D printed part that goes on the back of the frame if you want to mount the LED. I'm not going to be using that, but if you do use those parts, then the frame weight will jump up to 23 grams. It's about 2 extra grams for the LED parts. A couple other things to note about the frame. Obviously 20 by 20 hole pattern here for your electronic stack. It is an M3 hole, but they do include little adapters if you have a stack that only uses M2 screws. You have a little spaces here for your zip tie to hold the battery lead down, and that's a nice little addition there. The hole pattern obviously is going to be for 11.0X size motors, and I'll be using 11.05 motors for my build. And I believe there are some 3D printed parts you can get if you want to add some arm bumpers, and then also maybe a little bit of a part here underneath the camera here to protect the camera from getting any dirt underneath. So those are some additional parts you could print out and add to the frame, but of course it adds weight, and I try and keep my builds as light as possible. So I'm going to do a build video pretty soon, obviously with the HGLRC Zeus board here. Probably going to be using the BBB 1105 6000 kV motors, the GemFan 2540 props, TX20 flight video transmitter, and probably using the Micro Predator in this one. So stay tuned for that build video. Let me know if you have any questions about this frame, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.